Bulavinaka, Fiji, and good evening. Welcome to the Levuka Town Hall hosted by the Fijian Media Association. Coming to you live on the platforms of FBC, Fiji TV, CFL, Fiji Times, My TV, Fiji Sun, and Fiji Live. My name is Stanley Simpson. I'm with My TV.
And I'm Temali Sivona from Communications Fiji Limited. Bulavinaka, to those of you who are here present with us, Fiji's first ever town hall meeting in Levuka. It's really great to see you all here. Really do appreciate you taking the time out to come and question the ministers who will be here. Also, thank you to those who are joining us live on all social media platforms across the country.
This is the fifth town hall we've held. We began last year in Savu, then on to Lambasa, and then on to Tavua and then Ba. And tonight, for the very first time, we bring a town hall across to the Maritime Islands, to the old capital, Levuka. We are having this town hall in Fiji's first ever town hall, which was once known as the Queen Victoria Hall.
This is your evening, Levuka. We have the ministers up here. It's your chance to hold them accountable. Any questions you have, please come forward. You will have the mic handed to you. You'll be given 30 seconds to a minute to ask your question. Please keep it short. Please keep it civil. And also, I know we are very passionate because for years, many of your voices have been neglected. So this is the time to raise your issues.
Vinaka, so it's about you tonight. It's not about the media or any of us. This is about you to be seen, to be heard. Before we begin, we acknowledge the Vanua, the Turangana Levuka, the chiefs and the elders of the land we are hosting this town hall. And we thank you for hosting us on your soil and for opening the old capital to the rest of Fiji tonight.
Right, just the ground rules, a few simple ground rules like I mentioned earlier to keep us fair and keep us moving. When you're called, please keep your questions, so about 30 seconds to a minute. Tell us your name, your village or settlement. Please be civil. You can be strong, you can be passionate, but no personal attacks, no abusive language. You can be nothing that is currently before the courts. You can't mention that as well. Watch for the timekeeper's signal, and please let each speaker finish. This is a listening forum, so let's give everyone a turn.
This is democracy in action. And just to be clear, if you wish to ask your question in your native language, in your Itoke language or the Hindi language, feel free to do so. We have translators in the house to make sure that, that what you're trying to ask comes across clearly. Yeah? We are here to make sure that your voice is heard. Now, let me introduce our panel. We thank you very much. We know you are all very busy people, but thank you for taking the time to cross over to be with us on this historic occasion, the first town hall held outside of the two main islands. So, Vinawalevu, Honorable Ro Felipe Tuisawau, Minister for Public Works, Transport and Meteorological Services of Fiji. Vinawalevu, Honorable Siromi Turanga, the Minister for Justice and Acting Attorney General, a son of Lomai Viti himself from the island of Nairai. Honorable Moses Mbulutavu, Vinawalevu Sir, Minister for Rural and Maritime Development and Disaster Management. Also to our left, Vinakavakalevu, Honorable Inia Siruratu, the Leader of the Opposition, former Minister for Agriculture and Disaster Management and Defense, National Security and Policing. And Honorable Pramila Kumar, current member of the Opposition, former Minister for Local Government, Housing and Community Development.
We also acknowledge the representatives of various government ministries here tonight, including those from Fisheries, Police and Health. Thank you so much for being here. Let's begin. I'd like to ask each member of our panel the same opening question. In your own words, what do you see as the main challenges facing Levuka? What have you done for the people of Levuka? And what are you planning to do about it? You have 2 minutes each. Government, we'll let you start.
I acknowledge the traditional leaders, Turangatu Levu, government officials, and of course the people of Levuka. So proud to be here as a son of Lomai Viti. Levuka, overall, it's the size, the smallness. That's one of the restrictions. We are grateful that some committed people are here in terms of transport. There is more than one shipping vessel that connects Viti Levu and Ovalau. I think government, through its connection to the provincial council, has committed a lot of activities through the Tikina, through the villages. I am committed to Levuka by virtue of my connection and open door policy to the people of Lomai Viti and to the urban committee of Lomai Viti, where I connect to the villages and Tikina and the youths. I closely associate with the people of Lomai Viti, and also my ministry has, with other government ministries, have involved in a lot of awareness. My ministry doesn't have funds to give you development, but what we do, we empower you, we give you, provide you how you can be assisted.
Naka. Honorable Tisawal.
Vinaka Stanley, Nimbula Vinak, Policia. My name is Honorable Moses Simbultau, Minister for Rural Development, Maritime, and Disaster Management. I am from Vandolevu, and you guys from Lomai Viti. All right, but I'm asked, what can I do for Ovalau? I was part of the committee that reviewed the Heritage Bill back in 2024. It was started by the government, my two colleagues from the opposition were part of, and it was passed during our time. So that's what we've done for Levuka. For the other thing that we did when in my previous capacity as Minister for Environment and Climate Change, we were able to secure a Jonathan Smith funding or trust fund that is to remove the derelict vessels in Suvahaba, and also the staff from environment are here. They will enlighten us more on that Suniwasa, on how it can be removed or used. And the other thing that we do in our Ministry at Rural and Maritime Development, we do farm roading, rural housing scheme, not only here in Levuka, but elsewhere in Lomai Viti, Ngau, Koro. We've opened up a bakery, and these are just activities we've continued from where my previous predecessor, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, had left off. He did a good job, and we're trying to continue that good work, and those that will come after us will have to continue what we've left over, because no government is perfect, and no government will complete everything. And what we can do in our time is to serve at the very best we can. Vinaka.
Please.
Yo ni sambulu vinaka marota nugu chuna siandai pamna chuna turantu lebu kana turangani bonwa. Thank you very much. I know it's quite 2 minutes is given to us, but I hope it was a longer introduction. But as you understand, I'll just get to the point. Water, it is a major challenge here in Ovalau, and in terms of service delivery, as you know, there are various catchments in the Levuka system, including Totongo and various others, Waitavu. So some of the key challenges include the aging infrastructure, limitations in the current treatment processes, and increasing water demand as we move forward. And that is one of some of the major challenges faced by the Water Authority of Fiji. As you understand, the government has formulated the Water Plan 2050, and included in it are the various regions, including Ovalau, and the various infrastructure developments that are needed to move that forward. And the total costing for the whole nation is about 8.7 billion up to 2050. So government is working on that progressively, incrementally, to resolve these issues, including Ovalau. We are outstaffed here, Water Authority of Fiji, and we'll brief you as we go along in this session. Of course, the roads, as you understand, there had been various road maintenance issues for the last 3 years, which government has addressed through Fiji Roads Authority, including through the town, and there have been upgradings done, the various crossings, and we will continue to improve on those. So moving forward, the Public Works Department has been restored, and we have secured $12 million worth of equipment for roadworks, and part of that will be based here in Ovalau. and we will be upgrading the depot here this year. So that's, in short, some of the challenges, as I mentioned, water, roads, but also we have seen the issues about energy and the dependence on fossil fuels. EFL is working on a renewable energy program of close to $2 billion, and we are working closely with the World Bank on the rolling out of those with our, in terms of public-private sector partnerships. Moving forward. So that program, as we move forward, will increasingly replace fossil fuels with renewables such as solar. So those are some of the, in short, as I see it, some of the challenges here in Ovalau and how we intend to deal with it. But from my perspective, Ovalau has a huge potential. And I discussed with some of your stakeholders here, the need for Ovalau to have a long-term socio-economic development plan where it includes infrastructure development, including water, roads and energy, but also the business plans, incorporating the various communities, villages, etc., given that it is just 1 hour away from Natovi. So that is what's happening and sort of vision moving forward in terms of this island. Navalu.
Naka. Over to the opposition, Mr. Ignacio Ratu.
Udang sa wali po sa awang bulu sa tinga na titiwa turang anong bugi turang na ratu yung bureta turang na tiwele na turang na ratu yung motoriki. I'll just speak on two issues. One is the global phenomenon of the urban drift. Levuka is part of this. So the challenge is, how do we make people stay in Levuka, live, do business, and enjoy the benefits in the development and the programs that government can bring. That is not only a problem for Levuka, but it's happening in most of rural Fiji. I do apologize if I refer to Levuka as part of the rural community, but that is a big issue. Years back, and I know that it's still continuing. Part of the problem too is the heritage site, which has some placed some restrictions on Levuka, but that is one of the challenges in here. And as I've stated, how do we make the people or entice the people to live here and stay and enjoy life in Levuka? And the other one is the economy of Levuka itself. In my research a few years back, I don't know whether I was born then, there was a pineapple processing plant somewhere in Wainaloka. And apart from that, we have PAFCO. There is no other major industry here in Levuka. We have to look at the natural resources that are here. The Honorable Minister for Infrastructure has talked about potentials. There are potentials, but we need to work with government to ensure that these potentials are realized. One of the initiatives that we did back then to ensure that we provide employment, boost the economic performance here in Levuka, was we worked with one of your own sons, Zain, to bring Takimai into Levuka. Not only was the processing plant, but the farmers benefited as well, created employment, but he has to make a decision, a commercial decision, business decision, because of the difficulties, as you all know, about doing business here in Levuka, because the business has grown, he has moved across. But to make people stay and grow the economy, I do agree with the ministers, we create the environment. We need better roads, we need communication, we need utilities like water and so many other things. And most importantly, connectivity. We need to work together to ensure that these potentials are realized. Thank you.
Honorable Pramila Kumar.
Thank you, Stanley. Bulavinaka, namaste, assalamu alaikum. I'm very delighted to be back in Levuka. As you know, I've been coming to this town quite often as Minister for Local Government and currently as a committee member whenever we came to discuss the various laws that the government wants to pass. Now let's talk about the challenges. Challenges are many for Levuka. I've seen it with my own eyes. First challenge is being small, very small. Local government, basically the Levuka town is run by 152 people. 152 people are the ratepayers. It is through their rates that the Levuka Town Council is able to provide the services. So that's how small Levuka is. So that's the first challenge. Second challenge, in my view, is, as the LOP has said, is the migration. The more people from Levuka or Overlau living outside this area than being here. So that's another big challenge. How do we retain them? Now, what are the opportunities? There are a lot of opportunities. First, Levuka being so close to Viti Levu, 1 hour ferry ride. That's an opportunity. A lot can happen in Levuka. Levuka can feed Viti Levu. Now, another opportunity I see is the tourism, domestic tourism. How can we make people from Viti Levu visit Levuka for the weekends? How can we make our students visit Levuka for heritage tour to learn history? Because Levuka is known for every first you can think of. First port, first parliament, first everything. So there is an opportunity. Now the third question was what we have done for Levuka. The very hall you are sitting in was renovated and made a lot more comfortable for the people of Levuka, where you can come together and hold functions like what we are doing today. Secondly, the very market that you see. It was very tough because it was during COVID period, but we managed to get a heritage architect, and through his help, we were able to put the plan together. And I recall coming to this hall so many times with the plan, showing to the community, this is what we are building, what are your comments, what's your feedback, do you want this design, what else do you want? So that market was built. And rehabilitation of various heritage sites, that's the work that we did during that time. That's all I can say for now. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a snapshot from each of the ministers. As soon as they come, I know we all have questions, so we'll get straight into it. And we'll start with infrastructure. I think we'll put Ro Felipe on the spot straight away. Levuka is the first town in this country. It's the old capital. Yet getting here and getting away is not easy. In fact, we're not entirely sure whether we can make it back to Suva tomorrow with the transport and some of the shipping issues. The roads, the jetty, the shipping, the cost of the carriers. Someone told us, please ride on the carriers up to Lovoni and around these areas. Then when we ask the questions, make sure you know what it feels like. So these are the realities, but we'll hear it from the people of Levuka first. Can we get some questions from the floor? Who's ready to ask some questions regarding infrastructure? Identify yourself and who you're addressing the question to.
I'm Anthony Sahai, born and bred in Levuka. This is for Ro Tuisawau. This is the very same town hall which I had stood up and posed the various questions and raised a few issues to the previous Fiji First government team that toured Levuka in September 2020. From then till to date, those issues which I had raised still lingers. Even when the coalition government came into power in 2022, those similar issues still persist. As for the roads are in a pathetic condition. Whenever a convoy of heavy roadworks machinery comes across to Overlau, they dig, they grade, they tar seal, they fill up the potholes, and leave upon completion back to the mainland. The next heavy downpour comes, it washes off the tar seal, potholes reappear again, and the cycle continues. We need to wait for another 6-7 months for the next convoy of machinery to come across and provide the Band-Aid solutions. We had enough of the Band-Aid solutions. We need permanent fixes. We need permanent fixes to last for a lifetime. That's in terms of the road. Second is the Moreta airstrip.
Can we focus on the road first? Felipe Tusso, that seems to be an issue we face everywhere. People are saying that things are not lasting long with the fixtures that's being done by your ministry.
Yeah, thank you. When I traveled through Levuka town today, I didn't come across run into a pothole. But I take your point. So at the road FRA, we had already done some of the road maintenance and improvements throughout. They can answer the specific questions and also the amount which has been spent and what road improvements have been done and also what is being planned. In terms of the quality, yes, that's one of the ongoing issues we had faced when we came in as a government, because prior to our coming in, one of the quality assurance mechanisms had been with the PWD. So that's why we are bringing PWD back, and also this financial year we will be upgrading the depot here, plus with the depots, the machinery which will be acquired, about $12 million worth, will be distributed to the maritime areas for regular maintenance. So that one of the ongoing challenges has been the contractors not being on the island as compared to before. So we will, with that, we will bring that back. And as you understand, infrastructure, we can't solve everything within 4 years. It takes time to, for example, when the PWD was disbanded and its infrastructure, that's something which happened 10 years ago. And with that, we lost a lot of skilled personnel, which is still a challenge today, and a lot of the assets. So these are things which are trying to build up, not only for Levuka and Ovalo, but all the maritime regions, in order to ensure that the roads maintenance and the programs are up to par. For quality, there used to be a quality testing, road testing unit within PWD. I mean, when it was disbanded, it was no longer there. And this was located within the contractors, contractual companies, but that is sort of not a suitable type of arrangement. So we have worked with the Australian government to assist us in that, and there's a unit currently being now from Australia and within FRA who are working on that quality assurance part. Thank you. If there's any specific questions on specific areas and the plans for the programs, what has been done or moving forward, our teams are here, Fiji Roads Authority and also the Public Works Department.
You're so lucky to have traveled only through the main street. You never encountered any potholes. You tried traveling around the back roads, back lanes, back streets, or even around the island and inland towards Lovoni. Then you'll notice the difference.
All right, thank you, Anthony. I think just one question that the people will want for you to answer. When will the people of Levuka get quality roads?
Well, we, not only Levuka, but the whole of Fiji wants quality roads. So financing is a challenge in terms of, as a ministry, we have to compete for that limited funds to the Ministry of Finance. So we, for example, Fiji Roads Authority, we have a allocated budget for 300 plus million with the capital and also operational. So that covers the maintenance. I have a long list here of what we will be doing this year. in terms of, for example, tasseling of the village frontages and all that. So, as I mentioned, the works for the various regions of Palau, Ngau, Koro, and even the other maritime regions are incremental. It is done in an incremental way. But, I mean, ideally, if the money is given, we just do the whole thing, and we have the resources. So I can say here that, to answer that question and say that this year, everything in Palau will be perfect. But that is something which I cannot say now. But with whatever budget or resources we allocated, we will continue to improve in an incremental manner as we move forward. But of course, given the, Honorable Kumar has stated the potential for Palau in terms of tourism and other developments, it is a focus for the government, and we are actively, apart from the resources within Fiji, pursuing other development partners. And in order to do that, we need, as I already mentioned,
Please round up your response.
socio-economic development plan, and with that, with the specifics, the feasibility, etc., and that can be presented even as part of climate financing, moving forward. Thank you.
So Anthony, before you go to the second question, and we'll get Honorable Inia to give a short response to what he thinks, because this issue of neglect has been there a long time for many other maritime communities, and the topic of financing that is mentioned is an issue. It's worrying that they cannot state, because the finance, they cannot make promises without the money. So where's the commitment? But we'll get Honorable Inia, who were in government for 16 years, what they did and what they can see, they can think, because 8 years, 14 years, he's saying he cannot fix it in 3-4 years. So
Can I just clarify that?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, we are working on the solutions. For example, the setting up of Public Works Department, the re-establishment of the depot, and we are acquiring $12 million of worth of road making equipment. Part of that will be based here. That is what I can assure now. And that is one of the key issues or reasons, because outside contractors are coming in and going out. But if it was as before, which we will do, then the maintenance is done regularly as and when required, and the staff are here and the machinery are here. Thank you.
We'll leave it for the Honorable Inia.
Just very quickly, I just want to assure the people of Palau that it's being done progressively. We have to be realistic in terms of the resources that we have. I don't want to say that that is constrained, but let's understand that in Levuka, particularly, the roads are just around the coastal areas. As the former Minister for Rural Development and coming into Levuka in most of the recent visits during Fiji First government, one of the key things that was done then was to have the crusher on that end of near Bisoto. Is that the right place? Yeah. To do two things. One, first construct the seawalls where they are damaged, so that water cannot come into the main road itself. And then, instead of using loose gravel, we use crushed metal. The engineers can tell you the huge difference between loose gravel and crushed metal. Crushed metal is the next step towards tile sealing the roads. It's done progressively, and I know that this portion of the island, St. John, the other going towards the villages in that area, some of those have been tassealed already. And then successive governments have to continue. But I just wish to assure all of us it's done progressively and based on the resources that we have and the experts' advice That is what government has been doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Linia. Anthony, give a response in your next question. And please, those that want to ask questions, we're going to stay on infrastructure. Please line up behind Anthony. Eh? I forgot to have mentioned. And don't deviate yet. We'll stick to infrastructure now while we're on this topic about roads. Eh? So, Anthony, please, one more question from you, then you can have to give another round to someone else.
Okay, the second issue is the Mbureta airstrip. The last time we've seen a commercial flight arrive into Mbureta or depart was about approximately 10 years ago. It is only used now for medical evacuation flights and training flights. A FBC news article, October 23rd, 2023, I quote the Minister for Civil Aviation and Tourism, Mr. Levuka. He had assured us, the people of Obalau, that he would look into the matter and ensure that it is operational again. It's 2026 now. We're still waiting.
All right.
And
so, yeah, carry on.
With airports or airstrips correlates to tourism.
Right.
Just last Saturday, Fiji Times article, the same Minister for Tourism, Mr. William Levuka, stated, and I quote, "We have a very well-oiled machine in tourism, in terms of tourism in Fiji that looks after marketing. Levuka deserves or needs the prominence it deserves. Levuka is a UNESCO designated World Heritage Site. Never over the last 3 years, haven't ever seen marketing regarding Levuka."
Vinaka. Thank you,
Yeah.
Anthony. So both sides, I know from Andy talked about tourism, from Pramila talked about tourism, but very difficult when they can't get flights.
Yes.
Honorable Sarami.
If I may just respond into, Cabinet has approved the one flight per week. I'm not sure whether it started, but that's the decision. Obviously, that comes with a recognition for the people of Levuka for business and also for tourism as well. But Cabinet approved. I will try and get the details. If there
When
is,
was that approved, Honorable Sarami?
Probably this month or last month. I can get the details soon. Vinaka.
Something to keep an eye on, Pramila? Would you like to quickly say something on that?
Yeah.
Swipe.
Yeah. All right. For tourism itself, when we were reviewing Tourism Fiji annual reports, we found that the tourism promotion is centered mainly around Denarau area. So one of the recommendations that came out of the Economic Affairs Committee is that you cannot neglect, outer islands and least developed areas. We need to focus, we need to promote those areas. And that can only be done through Ministry of Tourism as well, because they need to develop the products in different places, which can then be promoted by Tourism Fiji.
But Anthony, you've said this has been, last flight was 10 years ago?
Yes,
So it's from both governments?
definitely.
Just,
haven't,
can I add?
Let me just comment on that. I think it was in 2016 when we had Cyclone Winston.
Okay.
And Cyclone Winston destroyed not only the airstrip, but Levuka was very badly damaged at that time, including roads, the buildings, plus the seawall, and the water was right on the streets. So there was a lot of work done from there onwards.
So we're still living with the legacy of COVID, but I think there's some movement. If Honorable Siromi is correct, there's going to be some movement there. Anthony, we'll have to ask someone else. We'll get you in the next round, please.
Naka.
Raka.
Pinakabalebu o ausana postonga babichi poso chiausara. Yo munaidu sudume nasau koro donongon nilomeviti. Turang Minister for Work balatanangon sala. Na bula saochi uolok na banua na waitu ke tasir mai ngon sala. Kona bonuchun ke na walimbula na lotu chachi ikia 11 lori 11 tamata. Na siwol ika sa siwol Makawa sa ndunga na kere-kere kera ni tubay ka na batu. Ndotal na kere-kere o kerebe na Fiji First, kera ni tasil na matenikoro. Sa valoloma na ngase bat ke nangone, isa tevu mate chigo na kuvu ko lago chuna lom ni koro, sa oda urna marama nonda sama ka chuna lom ni koro. Dona kere-kere bimbi na minsta nugo i redo toko na matenikoro nga, kena bo kun lenga taka. Yo. Matani koros. Kito kere tala ke rauni great taking ngon sala but ngonungo sa tu saran tu da but yo ve monichi ondo wabu kichi obalau chiko. Ko saran banga turang minista. Penasar valeu.
Moji, can you just for the English
just a request from Mr. Moon here that if we can do something about the seawall, because last month there was a flood and it actually affected the roads. And also if we can have the roads tasseled, because there's a lot of sickness that's been happening around the island because of the dust coming from those gravel roads.
Nakaro Felipe. Oh,
Nabaliu na bidana Vikasa waka tutu te mea andonu sana kai loren na pono elanga tu na seawall. Sartu chungo na tambana ni Fiji Road Authority mertunge kata-katakan. Wakatala kina na kena grading na koe tukuniti ko yona program ni osapa madalta ko china village fronted ceiling sana kena tasil ta kina matani bikorkor wil tala kina matani korubuli. Ko sa chukuna program ni budget ni ambango sarto na gai kata chukani kinorto na Fiji Road Authority bata kena kontrakta. Una valeu ke sotal na kapa matalalai ni bena kata me ba madal te kembali ti ro na tikina sa chu ba ro ngorto na Fiji Road Authority mertonge ngai ba madal taka ni uti talanga ngor ngai vital no endun due era ni sonakani ba tutu takme ke to ngai lingua mensuna ke ni tutu binaksa.
Penaksar valeu, Minister Tuisawau, just on that note, when can we expect that work to be done? What can we expect for that work to be done?
How does the program work? Like when can they expect it?
Yeah, we'll straight after this team will do inspection and also the costings, and that is within the Fiji Roads Authority. We have emergency works budget, and that seawall can be covered by that. Plus the village frontage, which they had complained about in terms of dust, it's already in the program and already budgeted for, and that work will begin as soon as the financial processes to transfer the funds happens, which be after July.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just asked that because sometimes villages ask, can you say it's in the program, but these things take time. The inspection takes a certain time, the finance takes time. How long does it really take, really? Because the government process, maybe people don't understand, it doesn't like go automatically into them. That can cause frustration. He may not come back in 6 months. So can you expect it done, say, in 3 months or 6 months? What's the timeline?
Yes, dona kamentando wakasamtachu na tubu-tubu ni labu ni matentu ngono sando wando ni kina na budget ni sarong sa kadibeka sini kimambal na kadibaka na Minister of Finance na madasauchi sa nila sa tigu sarangai ka endo utia ngai mendo daba chu na tubu-tubu kay labu na bagingo do songo talchunga na kana do bangata kini labu na purchase order utia sangai do tigu tal namba ki vai labu tarap na July yo sono na ilabo ko na me la kamena ministin tu ke sarchumen na lo mundon ni okosita so na un sale utsar na okosita so na kin membela ni sarana ta kan ngo na ken inspection mendike bagai law o chamen ngai hotel na okosita September oktober men ngai sana ngai tigu me kena ngona talango na Fiji Roads Authority sa rede tigo na contracts as taken under performance. Just in English, we are currently within FRA assessing the performance of contractors, and they have made their submissions regarding the renewal of contracts, etc. And that will be in line with the timing of the new budget. So in terms of timing, we're probably looking at September, October. Unawaleu.
Felipe Tuisawao, thank you so much for that. And thank you, Mr. Naidu, for raising your issue. Can we have the next? Yes. Please state your name, your village, and your question.
Vango usai dalai. Turang ni matangal ni lilu ni usa be Levuka ni lama na korwa turang opuma. Dona taro na vango leitu be tobu. Honorable Moses Bultago. Na rulundul rosanga bulu. Rawag mekina na lilu matanitu. Amengara bidona talo no siasa na hol na korwa Levuka. Amani kau de mekin do alanga. Nambale tira la bale silesi ba matanitu. Rendo mai vaga Levuka. Ngom bala tala langa ni vale. Ni sasaka no bono mi mariki na bale silesi. Amani tu daga na bartu tu tura pranisa. Dera di dole to ngele. Sudeno ngele. Daga taki be na biba taki. Nambale tira ba tambagin dua. No bien garra na ba matanitu Levuka. Rondo lo sabu. Awangai teginduru. Ano ko bareta ka ni sa tu barau. O kaji ba nugulan matagali. Nagkito sa baka ngalang ni matantu. Rondo lo sabu. O ati uta ke na dango. Ana kana kremi dista ni tongale. O bondo anga buka mo la ko bodo lebu. Ingau sangan do ni matantu ni tila ba batakali. Merde seni mele ni matagali no on sabu pasyente. Ngai ra dikito dista ka tinda ka. Ani tunggalan apa matagali. Ukila ni sakit bu rakaba. Nada que de mira katol matentu todo ingel maroi. Satu dengan ngona. Na taide ingele kito listaka. E china ka metegu me a china mbaki. Ni ko sa aba le ko nembaki. Wa sangati ko mero lo no nembaki a. Sangai tuguru biau. No daga taka. En buona business plan proposal ningelango mangai kau virtu la tamana ni tanu kam di plan toranga ministra o bakava bo muri la lawa kani marra ni ga sa tuguri ngango the business plan proposal ni korimudi residential commercial development project ni busat na toranga ministra sa ga tindal yau no bangara in dua company, memang ada kabar, in buana plan, nimbera di pastaki. Ini ngaku dah cukup kena. Lah kalau cukup pakai dia kata kabar, company, kita semua ngapa mata kali. Sekarang ni semua nama tentu. Orang angan dari kedua belah kat nawali kita langkah ni mata tentu. Ruang mile, ruang kilometer lebih jauh. Ada punonggo, kilometer koro. Kasa ko betara kon tigil matani kuah, sama ini suoti. Tura minister tara tok. Ndi toka, sama advil takoira. Tigil tura api, kira balik sini na ground breaking di project go. Harga yal taka, ni sana dal matentu. Na tegu tagi le tarangon sala. Tu satu kan betul salah. Tu na wai liba. Oh, we have taro juga. Sampai tu bukan ikau nembak. Ena bulat tolu jawati. Oleh sekali. Oleh tuki. Mau kerja beru ke. Sangat tu biau. Ni sekarang ni bubang kerain tu lah. Land value. Mel beru tak kali tonggel ko. Sindal lah tu begitu. Wah kerja ada tu orang minister. Tu orang tali beru ke. Darah ni kita ubah tak. Tabaran matentu ngele. Membe belu tali tongel lerni tos kata ko. Me apa mengo. Sangat tuan teraka cuma tahu. O bina kata butarong Ela rom da jaga. Coba kata saya sana momon tu di tali tongel ko. Saya bilang saat kita kinto terteban.
Tunaka.
O kau masuk. O bebuka la matentu. Kita bebuka apa mata kali. Me to mengo. Sangat dosen. Ni tondoliau. Kita coba kata ini masa aku kawal dulu. Maka lagi. Ni business plan. The proposal ko tu biau. Eso ni que dilau. Kini bando subo Levuka. Obinakata mo banta ka. Mita kera na Levuka. Tata ko daka tudok.
Sabunaka. Sabunaka.
Danga lukta pinabalik.
Nabalebu. Iyo, rawa sa senga. Moji, can you please just quickly give an overview of what's the...
Just a request and also a concern.
And it's about government process as
Yes.
well. That they've been trying to get all the things qualified.
Ever since 2020,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
been concerns about the government civil servants that were posted to Levuka. There's housing concerns, and the people of Umma had stepped in and given land that they can help the government officials with. From then till now, there still hasn't been any response to what they have tried to help the government with. So they're asking, when can the government reach out and help complete this project?
Winawalebu rotau na buguni na munitaro kinu munikawai to manda ba bina bina kata tu na ni sasanga pampalabu wati kena ya usaba tai ki mesanga me bator dai tai non tongkel na program go reatu na ngona ni taru kena ai na ronong dol roso ngulu anda utoka na wana turanga na ijili we na itoke land development ya ko ndo me subdivide tai ki na ngele me bukanituntong ko ngele na kana kena scheme plan alay da kana kena development plan magali sa tapos ara development list ka saule butok baldan daw na mo kena to keningel ni biunga may na taw ko ko kinalisi sa araw sa rekya na baybol ito ko na kaya ngandre meron ta kina baybabal ta ki na drainage na liba na goni sala mela ko loma na puno mela ko na nanduka ni balelai na baka na ko na kena na bi mata lalai taleso yan nangon ko na tambanan ko rin sa toka beroto na ito kay affairs na ministry may toka beroto na tambanan talaga ningkele roto sa toke na so na bibuke ko rin ibuke kenta na toke ningkele ba bimbi na kena rawa ni somi o ko na ko rin do na tuwa pala na cost of development sa na isa uni nonda sanga minta batoro takitaki au na kay kere may to na kay vital no ni otingo meron ngay laurai na ngoni sala mo ni bukay kina meron di bakatabar na namuni sasang kina bonua merawa nilay pabutukan teksar kina balti ni samay dakoti na ground breaking ni sa tabuta tongor ito na kay vital loro taw ni otingo na
Can you just summarize the response can you summarize your response please in English?
Thank you Stanley. Just to summarize what I've said, the cost of development that he has raised to develop that piece of land that was he offered in 2020, given to get the development lease, the scheme plan. Honorable Pramila will know all those costs. And that program initially was under the AG's ministry. It was called the Tauke Land Development Program. And one of the disadvantages of that program that you have to come to probably development plan level, then you can qualify. So all the cost to reach development plan level is quite expensive. So what I've asked him, thank you for the effort, and we'll see after this on how we'll talk. And we can refer him to Ministry of Itauke Affairs, where the current that program is now located. So we can be further assisted to fully realize the development plans that they have.
Thank you. Honorable Romy, I'll get you, then I'll ask Inya to say something about it. But this is an issue faced by a lot of people. They are having to bear the cost, all these costs, and then not getting anywhere. So, you know, for the people on my video trying to do a project like this, how can that help get it done?
If I may, okay, I was present at launching. I think we must be reminded that if it's your project, it must be funded by you. Obviously, Litoka was there. That project, that program that was managed by AG's office now been taken care of, handled to Itoke. But there is still opportunities for Itoke to get assistance from Itoke Affairs and ITLTB. I don't know whether though we have access assistance from there. No, there are a lot of opportunities, but those costs should be borne by you. But the big one, government has provided forum to assist you. I think the most important, you should know where to seek assistance. Na matin tu itu warau me bebuke, rambai libutara na puno salah tu me ne bebuke. And PM has addressed this in a Lomaiviti Provincial Council meeting, giving a challenge to people of Walau to make use of our land, build homes, to accommodate civil servants, because that's a problem, prominent problem faced here in Levuka.
These conditions are the same conditions for people in urban areas. And, you know, isn't there an importance to incentive? This is some people trying to make a project happen in a rural and maritime area.
For the project, that fund that was formerly with AG, yes, there's people in Singatoka, in Watukaula, they were assisted. Now that program is handled by Itoke. I'm not sure, because I've seen the gentleman, I know him in Dalai. If he has come to my office, I would have directed him. That's what I say. No, as a minister, if you come through my office, I can direct you to the right door. But if you go on your own, it's going to be a lot of searching around.
Very quickly from Honorable Leader of Opposition.
I've talked about the problems that Levuka faced. This was one of the solutions to the housing, rural-urban drift, and of course the heritage constraints as well. Let me put it into context for the information of government. This unfortunately happened when government changed. I'll plead for two things. One, Commissioner, you're listening. I pleaded this with Commissioner Northern and Commissioner West as well. When governments change, the priorities of the people does not change. It remains. It is the responsibility of the government machinery to ensure that the political government that comes in is made aware of the priorities that were already in place. Governments change, but the priorities of the people do not change. And we need to ensure that there is continuity. This problem in Buma, I'm well aware of it, and I've been trying to assist as well, happened when that change took place. I'll plead to government. Minister for Itoke Affairs is well aware. The problem in here is when government came in, the coalition government came in, Buma was relegated in the list. And they were told, because under the land development initiative, we have completed so many projects in Tawu and what, fully funded by government. Government is responsible for the development costs. And then the benefits in selling the lots is given to the landowners. So the problem occurred when they were relegated in the list. They were told to go to a financier. So, because what's happening now in Itoke Affairs, Honorable Ministers, is, I think, because of the amount that is given, they can only cater for a certain number. And unfortunately, Buma has been relegated.
Okay.
So they have, if you can relook at that. And my last plea, Honorable Minister for Rural Development, the Honorable Minister for Rural Development, Honorable Secretary Ditoke, has made some commitment, at least, to cut the road into the, if you can look at that. Thank you.
Now, we'll have some issues coming out there, some things for follow-up, media and the people, and we'll follow up, we'll see whether this project goes somewhere, because it's been sitting there for a while. It's not a new one. Next question, please.
Eno boleh menang na tura minister, boleh tura tiasa, impul tura bono neno na bolau, kimuturiki. Eda ngwa menang bola, obo tikitu ko nungku koron kutoria, obo tikitu wangala na waktu kai tikitu ko wainra settlement. Na taro be tarwat cikon, minister ni transport, na taxi yo bolau. Na taxi yo bolau nungku sabadam butu namita. Esendi wanga tagitiko. Marabi kor nabi tahu ni kede, wili kido tabuni sarawanga tagitiko. Owe taronga tiko ngusi o walau tiko ndikoa. Adaba na buna esendi wanga tagitiko na. Amita ni taxi.
Question, Moji, please translate.
Sotana Na taro mai sanga tuguna taxi permit se tuguna taxi ngisi.
The taxi meter is there. It's not in use, it's just there, and they're not using it. So they're asking, why is this happening?
Na lawa ndon me banga taxi na mitonge kiri na ilti chungo ndamana pamadaliga iyo bana.
Say that again, what's the response to that?
The LTA is here, if they can just expand on my response.
Yeah. Okay.
Dr. William. Na
So can you please stand?
susah ni taro tang sa chuna bawini ku na taxi keke ter mera bang tanan ramita. Itu balau na kisigur da ko kamay na ula rosauti. Kitu sa wala bertuna bisa. Kaya kaya sini on chuna taxi apni Levuka me rebukta kira tukin taxi. Nondonu mera on tang ramita. Antona kaya tiko sa ikuan na kena non rabel itu na tukin ni renan rebin taxi. Wata kira na pasindia. Begitu na senamatin itu, bagalau nonton me on chungan ramita. Sebenarnya pada banam bola boleh ngunsal rati ba, nonton me on chungan ramita. Naksa value.
What's the response, Moji? Please translate.
They've already, the LTA has already liaised with the police department that taxi drivers should be having their meters on when the passengers are on board. So if they don't have their taxi meters on, then taxi drivers should be booked.
Should be reported.
The police.
Should be reported to police.
Yes, reported to police, and police should be looking into this issue and booking taxi drivers.
Dr. Lumtaro?
Yeah,
Hold on.
if I can just advise police officer to be directed, that it's illegal to operate a taxi without the meter on. And that's for the information of people of Levuka.
My second question, please. Eronga na buru-buru nila babike mumerti na koro. Koir na tide kimami, seira na ngani kimami ramu ita kata cunga na papku. Nangono ko rata-rata na nga na papku. Na kira-kira lagu cini biau, ungusun racunan tau tite yobalau. Eron baga induri ki andara kasaba proses yobalau. The process kina tayo kakira waka ibu notan. Mr. Bujabu, please.
Translate, please, Moji.
In Ovalau, there is only two sources of income, the PAFCO and the farmers. The request is coming from this gentleman here, if there could be a cassava processing factory that could be built here, that could export cassava overseas.
So taruh lang tahu rawa. Itu kita sangkai tak abang na kena bahas puntur rumah ngau. Ina bula rosaoti, ngol tal tunga kena turang komisna, matina turang apelo mai biti. Ya kesa abang nangangan rike, merto nang kai reta mantana bali silesi go na kena feasibility study, kena bandindike, na buno ata metukina. Laure tanga ba tirto na tambani tei, merinti bali buno tabiok. Merani bakan ni engkanki. Mikoni mai tuna nonto engkanki. Ngai sinindon tabiok ade. Ya talendo na tina bimbi mentana ba imbolekina. Na kena bang ngata kena gel satu niti satu tambahin tete renton di masalah bina bale buna panana nongor merdo nang kai raidang ko merdo nang kai bese mai tele juga indro tau
Ocho ni kere ngo ni bosa chau e uche mention curriculum mai biso ta district school dona rule school juga sango rombe kan ni 100 takina ECE building ngonongo dona curriculum ni kindergarten ECE Ongka si bulili usah bangalala. Sarali banget takat kunana balik na ECE ngano sarangangko. Samba sudah petisi ni lama sarali banget takat cukup. Satu soko yang kinan tuan nga wale lenga. Sa sulo ko na yalo na to kamera bulinga na ECE. Rombe kan litara na mate walun na ECE ibisoto.
Request coming in from this lovely gentleman if there could be a ECE building built in Visoto District School.
What building? Sorry?
ECE.
ECE building,
What's that?
early childhood education.
Levuka.
Kindergarten.
Yeah. Maybe Honorable Surumi?
Nataro e rawa. Ondo sa kere roji.
Tu sa kere hoci.
Kere e sa chiko na tampani buli.
Sa chiko sa ngora tabuli buli.
Chiko talanga na bol ni sana.
Como zango reu sinta rawa. O klanga sa chiko na tabuli
O
buli.
bena kata me matata ni da kere matintu na lako ni misi kena bol duru ki ali la ko meren ta kla kere. Io. Toke vitalo ni o chiko e rawa.
Bina bole mata.
Kere na kat odondon.
Nak sarvaliu.
Na valeu.
So maybe, Honorable Surumi, there's an issue there about awareness and process in getting some of those projects done in some way. We'll try and round up infrastructure. Is there any other infrastructure question? One more?
I've got two, sir, for Honorable
Don't worry, we'll take as much time. Nobody will be left.
Coming up.
No one will be left behind.
Okay, my name is Urea Sorovatini. I'm from Tumbaula, Kembainlau, but I'm the Vice President for People Alliance Party in Lomaiviti. I've got two questions for Rotutau regarding water. Urban Solution is contracted to Water Authority in Bamba, and their workers have been paid $50 a day without any FNPF deduction, without any overtime, and without any allowance. Sometimes they work from 8 till 11 at night in the rain without any wet allowance. So that's my first question, sir.
Vinaka. What authority do you wish to respond on that? But based on what was being asked, sounds like a illegal situation in breach of the employment relations. But I'm not. What authority can you answer on that?
Please stand up, sir.
Bulbinaka, my name is Bundenga from the Authority of Fiji. Urban Building Solutions has been engaged for our project in Totong. We will look into this matter, noting that this is the first time this has been raised up to us. Naka.
Ando ne chuko tonga ira dapat na kisingore.
Isakawa sa mbita tak sa sali ado sali lago vi honorable vondo sali call survey Water Authority mbera Water Authority to response o sa ngol sa rene PM service. But today yo PM service is to ki Water Authority mbera ti go no to CEO.
O tinga ko ndoro vital no mongi mbita mabe mongi muria.
Andon sa.
Ya benak.
Your second question.
My second question, sir, is about Levuka Wharf. It's been damaged from 2016 during Fiji first time. Sorry, I'm not pointing fingers, sir. But it has been not been budgeted in this year and last year. Our question, since I'm the voice of the people of my vita, even though I'm from Laos, my question is, what's going on with the wharf in Levuka? Since we have Mr. Ben Naidu here, his vessel damaged that wharf. If you want him to contribute financially or technically to improve the wharf, please, we need to get the wharf up and running.
Yeah. So that's one issue, Honorable Sironi, and we've been hearing from a lot of the locals.
Yes.
That port's been restricted now to one to berth and only 2-ton vehicles, which is affecting economic activity and transportation. It's been that situation since for a while now, like from 2016. You were talking about development and movement, all these cassava projects, but cannot move with that wharf being in that state.
You may have recalled that there is a funding assistance from a company through the USA. Levuka Port has been identified. Yesterday at the cabinet briefing, some of these people who are behind some of the projects for the port expansion, including sewer, briefed us. For your information, Levuka Port is identified as part of this funding that will come from the states. Yan sinituro bang na bula tulumengo. Kanga witu ko na ilabo ya, ndo na ilabo lebu, Sangkai mateni ngon me bebu ki me viti, me daka kina na wabu Levuka. Mbalate tiko na bana nanu, winaka na wabu, lako mai na wanga baka kina iraka na cruise line, me rene bebu ke be Levuka.
Where is that funds coming from?
Cannot be on the specific, but certainly Levuka and Suva and Lautoka identified for those projects.
Because we're just looking at the recent budget.
It's not in the budget.
Because allocations for Ellington, Savsavu, Tavyuni, and Rambi, but Levuka is not in it.
It's not.
In the
Those
JT.
projects are not in the budget. Yeah, those projects are not in the budget. I think that's what I can say for the time being.
It's not in the government budget.
But under that, okay, Naka. Okay, my two more supplementary questions, sir.
Sorry, can we just ask then? So the implementation is going to be underway? I mean, it's.
I think probably Minister of Strategic Planning would be the best.
Because
it's the first time.
It's 10 years now.
Yeah, well, we can't say for the 10 years. What I can say is this, that funding has been approved for Fiji. It's a matter of time for that to access that funding. Suva, Levuka, and Lautoka identified.
We'll give, sorry, I'll have to give someone else another question. Any other infrastructure question? Okay, I think infrastructure is a hot topic right now. Please now keep it short. We want to move on to some of the other issues.
Very short, very short. Ona masanga babi, ona masanga babi toke. Rango turusiro kondulu, au turang diwele tabu kantabu sabai tuku tuku tunde yuabalo. And dona kai be bande tek tuku bikimdo. Na kasaba lau takatunu matentu me muri. Na kena sini cukup Levuka na Consumer Council. Consumer Council, isang Levuka. Iliu sing madala sa cungan matan tu nungun ko kana ba na matan tarwa. Consumer Council.
Ya, karunum taro.
Na karoni taro iliu ndau tu ko na rondo ndau cekta kana barau ina bistoa. Sa cungan matan tu nungun kwarto na tambani barau. Ya dapat sini nak cukup Levuka.
Sabanaka. Question, response please.
Consumer Council embulatiko esambangani tiko ike tiko mbekyo tiko mbengano maramadio endondo numer tondo siko mai tiko nangau endondo numer siko tiko mai Levuka batine tiko kina na stoa.
Saya nak taruh tiko ni Levuka tahun ni dapat sini cukup ko tunggu bal ni Indio kete-kete dapat sini cukup na Consumer Council Levuka.
Iyo sadingomi so tambani be ngarabi ni matitu sin cukup kete na be tahun ye. Ya mengelele taruh ngi mandongo baka manda na Thank
you. Pramila is a former CEO of the Consumer Council. Does every town need, how does it work?
Okay, so every town, they don't need Consumer Council because there is a number called 155. Anyone can call and lodge a complaint with Consumer Council. But you do have FCCC agents in maritime area in other islands. So what one has to do is contact FCCC. They'll be able to give you the contact of those individuals who are responsible for overload. So if you have any issues, you can raise it with these individuals who are sort of agents of FCCC. They are the staff, semi-staff, sort of that kind of arrangement where they normally do the work for FCCC. But for anyone around the country, if you have any issue, you can just dial 155, and that will be taken care of.
Is there Naka? Is there any other infrastructure? Okay, Mai.
Amen. We thank all of us standing here tonight. We thank the Lord providing times like this for the government to come. So we have to praise Him for this afternoon in Ovalau. My question, I'm from Visoto village. Maybe my question goes to Tadingu, Mr. Mbulitabo. 2013, the Ministry of Tambaniwa Yangi Mailiwi Nakoro, na nitu tumbuniwa isawo chimpeke wasang ulembagi na paipo kokomea. Sadula-dula, maten tu sawot, maten tu ke, gay buki mai. Sabi ko tani ibo langge ni biki mundu. Tarolinga. Nabi lim sebulan bagi siawan sebulan bagi nengai takana Vi wator sa kiting on ni paipo, kito undola na tumbu ni wai, na dombo, ai chiksu pa maten tuni korni buli, wata ke bisoto. Nong utarongan. Tore na bidana mbaki pasanga bulu, si on sanga bulu. Na mbaki na gita kana ka. Kini karo ni utaro, ena rehe ni kuwa. Na kalian ni wai mena koro ni tumbu ni wai chuku mena dombo korni buli. Kito sono ma pale chuku imba masale kacia. Ya nangangan rele chuku ke tumbo sipa korsengi uji ke satu na nitu chini na milioni na mil na lita na tani. Nangangan rele chuku se kiru ni baru teke main na paipo poltin. Gitu na tamata kata kitu ngai kalinga. Avia na mbalabu ni buno medidi makina kaya be para teknik tul na rara tul mama ambeka. Rara ni gitu. Kembali na via tulan rau ba lim sabul se on sabul lamita. Kitu ngandrebe na polo na poltin patana kene siama. Mena valiu.
Moji, translation please.
First question from the gentleman that how long will it take to address these water issues in Visoto, as they only have two sources of water in the village. And second is they are requesting for polythene for them in order to, yes, Mr. Mbulitawu, in order to, they can construct their own source of pipe.
Levuka Stanley, sure, we have assistance in terms of self-help project where we also cater for water needs in drilling boreholes and also getting the water system in pipes. Etaw, una kirea, rutona daka bata mantau rutona nitungo, una pia ilo may biti. Kerto talangan ko na water authority, mertona kay Soma, siya na kena nanguna taba mertona rin lay rede ni kina, bata kena sangay mena dakayani. Kumtuna water authority, do Soma mandaya, mertona kay bebu kapati na turang pia ilo may biti, meron lau reba to tolo na kisya may bisoto.
Polo ni pia ini kuah, wata bertono water authority. Tunggu bahasa na bahasa lau mai niko kemdone tiku, na ulu ni bilutaki, nanda maten tu. Nangangan rechiko, na lenga chiku bertono walu si dio na bubali na koro, ninge ila ko mai na wai, tu kanelu mena dombo korni buli bisoto, tono bibole asale kata siang na wai. Tunggu bangkarana ka.
Lawa kangku ngawa to man tekeri, merausa da somi taro mata mayor rau na bebosa ki bate kem dinisinga. Otia me usa na gairen tauda ni to na batelo amenom do bebosa ki. Trato pa malongori.
Water Authority.
Thank you. John Bundeng again from Water Authority of Fiji.
Please hold the mic up closer to you.
Oh, sorry. John Bundenga, Water Authority of Fiji. For Visoto and Nadombo Village, we have an allocation of 430,000, and we expect to commence the project by November 2026 this year, and it will take a period of 4 months to complete the project, noting that we've awarded the contract recently.
So 430,000 have been allocated,
yes.
And it will commence
November 2026.
November this year. Kimra, you can continue these discussions. I think it's been budgeted as per from the Water Authority of Fiji.
So durutika na programa ni Water Authority bro. Menengai ucuma ke indo vital natal me bandi tekina kena pamatai lalai. Wabi na bali bunu mutuna me indo satu baro mundo wibu ke na sabali.
I think the issue many are facing is the length of time it's been taking since the queries, but some positive news there. Visoto, you'll have your water by December, hopefully. Next question, please.
Avnil Anishdeo. I'm currently staying at Nasova quarters. In that quarters, we have 4 families using one water meter. And quarterly bill is about $1,100. Currently, the bill is $8,000 because occupants came in, they went out, the bill keeps on going up, no one paid. So I'm requesting if we can have individual meter so that the bill is paid on time and we pay for the amount of water we use as soon as possible. Because some other families there cannot afford to pay. It's like $300 quarterly for one family, which is too much.
I think Water Authority of Fiji.
Yes, we will immediately after this, we can liaise with our water authority staff who are here to take on board that request and find a solution as soon as possible.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Binaka.
Thank you.
Can you
Levu.
just hang around?
Oh.
Please wait around for our staff.
So there's some of you that'll be waiting around for the further communication and coordination with the relevant authorities and the ministers. While they're here, make them accountable. Yeah.
Bulavinaka, good evening to you all. My name is Lina N, originally from Nassau, Modern Lao, married here in Waitobu village, Levuka. Nice to see you all, acknowledging you for your presence this evening. But my question is in regards to Ministry of Health. This is in regards to expectant mothers. I think in relation to our Levuka hospital, I think this issue has been addressed for some time. Scanning, when our expectant mothers are expecting, if they need to have a scan, they have to travel across, and this is done at their own cost. And we're looking at mothers who are from the rural and maritime. I think this issue was once addressed. They came up with where somebody was coming in across from Suva for 2 to 3 days. That was happening even when I was expecting at the time. But till to date, it was a bit saddened to see that the same issue is still going on, where they have to travel across for scanning, either in Suva or Nosori. My second one is...
Can we just answer that first question? Is it still, just a second one still related to health? Is your second question still related to health?
No.
Okay. Can we have the Ministry of Health, SDMO, respond to that, please?
Nawalewu. Thank you for the question. Yes, I do acknowledge the ongoing issue with our services at the hospital. We have the machine, we don't have the technician. Our problem right now is human resources. The vacancy has been advertised. We are still waiting for the medical imaging technician to come down to Levuka. We've sorted the option of getting in officers from CWM on relieving basis, but due to shortage faced at CWM, they are unable to release an officer to do that. In the interim, we are providing LPOs, boat tickets for our mothers that we send across for their ultrasound scan services.
So how long has this been going for?
For 3 years now.
Come on, government, 3 years without that service is too long.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we do not have the specifics of that situation, but we will definitely raise it as soon as we get back, or just tonight. I will discuss with the Minister of Health regarding the matter, urgent matter raised today.
Just before we move on, we understand from our discussions also, if the SDMO can confirm that there is no ambulance at the moment. Yes. Here in Levuka, and there are no pharmacies. And understand even there's no rugby games can be held here because there's no ambulance. That's why the St. John's team is not having any home games. I mean, that's the list of it, but can you confirm that these issues do exist, as we're hearing from the locals, that there are no ambulances and there are no pharmacies in existence in Levuka?
Thank you, Stanley. Pharmacist, we have an operational pharmacy at the hospital. The issue is the availability of private pharmacies in town. On the island, the only pharmacy that we have is the government one in the hospital. We do acknowledge that sometimes we have stockouts of drugs, so we give prescriptions to the public, and the only option they have is to send it across to the mainland. And I think we've had this discussion with our business community on trying to get in private pharmacies for the island. In terms of the ambulance, we do not have an ambulance for Levuka Hospital. We only have the government twin cabs that we use. Responding to sports, rugby standbys, we have rugby matches every weekend here in Levuka. We have the personnel to provide the standby, but without the support of the ambulance services.
So without the ambulance, if someone needs to be medically evacuated to the mainland, they have to find their own way? Or what's the process?
We use the hospital transport, which is the twin cab. If it's a sitting case, they sit in front. If it's a lying case, we use the tray at the back.
What about dental care? Is that
We
here
have a
in
fully
Levuka?
functional dental department in Levuka Hospital.
Can you just explain how long this ambulance situation has been in existence?
What the ambulance situation? Ambulance situation, I came into Levuka in 2023 as SDMO, and we haven't had any ambulance since then.
Okay, no technician, pharmacy running out of stocks, no ambulance. There's a situation that needs to be fixed there. If rural Moju.
But with the response to the ambulance, I must assure the people of Levuka that there are 10 ambulances coming into the government with support from the government of India, and the minister has assured me before coming here that we are going to get one.
Because it's not ideal going in a twin cab when you need the proper support in the ambulance for a medical evacuation. Can you have your
Thank you, Stanley. And I think
this is not a good situation.
It's not a good situation, but the assurance from the line ministers, as Demo said, that one of those 10 ambulances will be allocated to Levuka. That's a one tick in the box. And we don't have the Ministry of Health budget estimates. Probably they are all factored in already, even the recruitment of those technicians. But as the Honorable Minister for Transport has already alluded to, that we'll raise it with the line minister, and we'll see into it that it's addressed much faster. And also on the other issue of pharmacists, to encourage the Fiji Pharmaceutical Board for those private businesses to, at least one, the leader of the opposition probably could convince Honorable Elvik Maraj, being part of the board, to get some of his friends to open up one here.
Now that needs urgent addressing. Now, sorry, before you ask your second question, if it's not, any other health questions while we're on health at the moment?
I forgot to mention one. If you only can also request for eye specialist. I, for one, who needs to have that eye care checked, but I have to travel across for eye checkups. And I have to go to a private doctor in Suva in order to do that. We don't have that services here in Levuka.
Any other questions related to the health hospital? No? Okay, there's another question that will come up, is the issue of the mortuary, that it's not working. Is there an issue? Can the SDMO please enlighten on that issue?
Stanley, the Levuka mortuary is currently operational. We commissioned it last year with the generous support from Mr. Ben Naidu and his company. It is currently operational.
Thank you. Your second question, please.
My second question is to Mr. Siromi. I am the lady from Waitobu. You came to the Waitobu Hall and we were filling out forms for the grants, the 1,000 grant for those in the rural. Till to date, they haven't got any response, whether their grant has been approved. We've been calling in your the toll-free line. I think I quite got fed up of calling because they said, wait for the next budget. The next budget came, nothing came up. We called again, nothing came up. So till to date, they're still waiting for the response to that particular grant. Naka.
Just switch it.
Thank you for the information of the members. The grant is managed by the Ministry of Trade. It is the Ministry of Justice who actually came and tell the people of Levuka, this is an area where you can get assistance. Yes, sometimes they are not responsive. What I'll do again, what I understand is this: people are now, some are receiving the approval from the Ministry of Trade. I'll get your details and we can update you. Eh? Yeah. If it was from the ministry, you would have get the answer straight away.
Minister Siromi Toranga, thank you so much for those of you who have been coming up to ask your question. Now for our final theme is heritage and development. Levuka became a UNESCO World Heritage Site back in 2013. A proud thing for this country and a proud thing for Levuka. But many people here feel the heritage rules are holding the town back. The repairs, the buildings, it's very difficult. Cyclone Winston did its damage too. So the real question is, if the town must be preserved, then who pays for it? Government or UNESCO? Back to the question, if the town must be preserved, then who pays for it? Is it government or UNESCO?
Heritage, I believe heritage, yes.
Mike, please.
Can you respond to that question?
Thank you for the question raised in regards to the heritage. Most of the funding is funded by the government in all the restoration of the 16 buildings. To continue next week, we will commence with the first building to restore again. Thank you.
One of the issues, if I may say, we're hearing from people is that it's stifling development in the town. And that the town is in disrepair. Because they don't have to move, to have funds, they have to go through a lot of approvals. Is that an issue that's true and real? Is there anyone from Levuka who shares those views, or is that all okay? Because that's been a concern we've heard. And I think that designation of the heritage came through the Fiji First government in 2013. So how has that worked for the town? And the feedback that we're getting, is it real that it's stifling development in Levuka?
For the development, we will the only pending issues now is with regards to development of Department of Town and Country Planning for the plans. After, just waiting for that plan to be approved. When they approve the thing, we'll commence next week with the groundbreaking and also the repairing of the first house, which is Semyang.
So, Pramila, you were part of that
No, I wasn't.
the designation, but I mean, it seems to be
I
two-edged
wasn't.
sword now. Preserving it is a nice look, but then the realities are people want to move on and develop and move, and this is affecting it.
Yeah, this is my very personal view. Heritage town, you will see in many countries, they do have heritage towns. Even New Zealand have a heritage town. US, many other countries, Hawaii. And there is a group of tourists who love heritage buildings. So they travel a lot. And some of these heritage towns are very, very rich towns. But there is a way of doing it. UNESCO will definitely not fund any heritage towns and cities. But how it is done is all the public buildings needs to be paid by the government, but private properties will be paid by the private person. But there has to be an understanding. What you need to do is just preserve the frontage, the facade. And you can have a very modern building inside, but the facade should all look same. That is the only difference when we talk about maintaining a heritage site. And for that, we do have a heritage architect. And you can see that within Levuka, like market was built, right? There wasn't any major problem with that because we contained the facade and inside we changed everything else. And similarly, few other buildings like the community hall, which is under construction. Again, the facade is maintained, but everything inside it can be changed. So there has to be a lot more awareness on this, and maybe in future, we should have a designated team that can assist the community in guiding them in terms of what they need to know. And that way we can progress much quicker. I think there is a lot of confusion here because there is this understanding that UNESCO is going to pay for the buildings.
Okay. We'll have Honorable Multavu give his view. Then we'll take another question, and then we will get an update on the law and order and security situation in Levuka from the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Melissa Teki, and then we'll take questions on law and order after this.
As alluded to by the Honorable Pramila Kumar, the current Heritage Act has already factored in the process of how the residents of Levuka who live within the heritage site can apply for improvements. And I think the funding is also part of that of the bill. If I would like to ask the heritage officers to update the residents here on how to access those fundings and the process involved and what kind of assistance they can get.
I think Tammy has an online question.
Yes, thank you to Marianne Randua, who is joining us online. Her question, what are some of the strategies and plannings you have in order to save the heritage? They've seen cruise ships berthing in, and what have you have to offer the tourists?
Thank you for the question. For heritage, the first step they're going to do is for whole 174 houses to be repaired. After repaired, then we'll, by the time that the port will be built, so and we will work closely with the Ministry of Itaúki Affairs, where we'll create all the tourist sites. Because coming to Levuka, when the tourists will come to Levuka for the whole heritage tour, it only take them about 15 minutes or half an hour, and then they go back. So they will, for the whole week, they can visit other sites along the nearby villages in Levuka.
But they can't berth on the wharf right now. Huh?
Yeah, because it's still
Right.
not repaired.
Next question, please.
Naka.
Bulabinaka, honorable ministers and honorable oppositions. Stanley Bulabinaka.
Naka.
My questions this evening is just basically on policy. But before that, I'd just like to introduce myself. My name is Serum Banuve. I'm a school principal at a government school, Levuka Public School. This is regards to quarters occupants. For us at our school, as our teacher comes in for an appointment from the ministry, they are eligible for quarters because they are coming to a government school. And because of the less of quarters that we have, I believe some way back, a policy was given that all quarters at the maritime or probably at the rural, they are classified as pool quarters. There were no ministry quarters. And I believe once PWD comes into play, automatically these quarters need to be reverted the way it should be at the beginning. From institutional quarters, as I said, there were pool quarters and there were institutional quarters. And I believe as PWD has to come into place, there's supposed to be a policy that needs to be done to revert this back to institutional quarters. The reason being, most of our teachers are out because quarters are not given to us, because quarters are classified as pool quarters. Any civil servant can enter at one quarters at any time. So I am requesting, just like QVS, we have RKS, ACS, those are all institutional quarters. We are requesting if that can be also applied here at Levuka. For our school as a government school, we are entitled to institutional. Because when there's something happens, is that there's a repair work or there's an emergency happens, we cannot just go back to the ministry that is responsible for these quarters to ask for these immediate repair works.
Venaka, I think you've made your point. Can we have a response, please?
Yes, thank you. So the government has made a decision to overall policy decision for quarters, government quarters, to be managed under Public Works Department. So that process is still in progress, and what you are saying today is one of the directions that we will be moving into, which had previously been the arrangement, the institutional arrangement quarters. So that is still work in progress. And as the process for the transfer of that from the Ministry of Public Service and Finance is finalized, then the framework to include what you're saying will be finalized, and the timing will be announced as we progress. Thank you.
Does that answer your question? Does it allay your concerns?
My concern is that because this has been happening from the previous government, and then, but when will this happen? It's the question that I'd like to.
I think that's the question a lot of people have. Honorable Ministers, is the timelines for this?
Unaka Stanley, we cannot blame the previous government or even the previous one. What we can say is that the issue has been raised, and we will look into it and how we can get to the line minister for education and advising him on what the people have raised, and also the same principle or the same policy to apply in RKS or QS to apply for Levuka Public School. We will surely raise with the line minister.
Leader of Opposition.
Stanley, I just clarify that.
Can I just ask about these issues that we're facing? You've been in government before, and then now in
this has been here for ages. I came in as Commissioner Northern in 2007. It was already in existence. The issue came about when we started what we call the decentralization and empowerment of the rural and the divisions outside Suva.
Who started that?
Oh, it's been there for a long time. I know this because commissioners, they work directly with PSC, what we used to have, the Office and Accommodation Unit. PWD is about maintenance and records, but the housing policy rests with Public Service Commission. And the 4 divisional commissioners, they usually have quarterly meetings in Berkeley Crescent in Suva to sort out quarters. But there's a simple way around this. It's simply about communication. Ministries, I know back then, when they want to post their people out of Suva, the first thing that the ministry is responsible for is to ensure that there is a quarters available or there are options. Because in some places you have government quarters, whether it's institutional or pool quarters, and we have what we call government rented quarters. Unfortunately, in Levuka, because of the smallness issue, we don't have much of what we call government rented quarters. That's part of and the commissioners look after government rented quarters as well. So going back to my original question is,
Well, that's not good enough, is it? I mean,
Yes.
for people being sent here.
Communication between the agencies is very, very important because it gives the commissioners, puts the commissioner in a very awkward position when they are posted to the stations and there are no quarters available. In Vunisea, there are families that share, 4 families can share 1 quarter because of this issue of communication. Because the ministry can hold onto the postings until the quarters become available. So that's how they got into the Ministry of Education facilities, even in the Ministry of Agriculture in Cornivia.
Thank you.
Everybody is there now, not only Ministry of Agriculture.
I
But
think,
probably something that needs to be looked at.
I think the
into.
message coming out is that there needs to be some proper planning and real proper structure in place because it doesn't seem to be working right now. There seems to be a
Yes.
disconnect, especially with these rural island communities.
Yes, I agree with Honorable Leader of Opposition, the communication. But ideally, government should be responsible for housing for civil servants. So when you are posted to a school, the quarters should be there. So that principle is something that we are working towards. And in the long term, it's a big task in front of us, but incrementally we are reorganizing, redoing the framework for that, and also in terms of working together with the Ministry of Civil Service and the PWD in terms of the maintenance, and also improving the supply of quarters as we move forward. So as a government, that's what we are working towards. And yes, it's not an ideal situation right now. And we will be conveying the situation, of course, to the Ministry of Education so that we are more effective in how we deal with transfers and also accommodation for civil servants, especially the teachers.
Very quickly, Pramila.
Yeah, thank you, Stanley. I see an opportunity for the private sector to step in to build quarters which can be rented by the government, because the government cannot be the sole provider of all these quarters. If you look at the number of civil servants and other civil servants who are working for statutory organization, we're talking about 42,000. Even if we need 10,000 quarters or 15,000 quarters, that's a very big number. So what I'm saying here is there is a private sector opportunity which can be taken on board.
Vinaka.
And even landowners.
Yeah, and I think some of the one of the questions that came was some of them wanting to do some of those projects. I think that is in, but the process was too complicated. All right. We will. We have 6 more questions, I'm told. But before we take the next question, we have the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Melissa Teki. He's here, and law and order, drugs situation is a big issue facing the country right now. We invite him to give an overview of the situation, the law and order situation in Levuka.
Vinaka Stanley. Bula Vinaka to the gentlemen and ladies of Ovalau. If I can just quickly take you back for the last 5 years, the crime stats for Ovalau was the highest in 2022, being 346 registered cases, and the lowest in 2023, but we've noticed it's on an increasing trend. What we've also seen that there's a reduction in cases against women and children, but there is an increasing number of cases on drugs and also on RICA-related offenses. We are continuing with our services in regards to the police clearance from the police stations. We have an issue with 2 of our quarters, which we have requested government. Unfortunately, we were not funded this coming financial year, but we'll continue to push for that to assist getting our people over to Ovalau. We've heard about the issue of accommodating officers here in Ovalau, and we also having to experiencing the same. That in quick is what we currently have at the moment. There has been an issue raised in regards to having a dog section here in Ovalau because of the increasing number of population coming to and fro. It's something that we've also asked government, and we are looking at if that can be a temporary arrangement for us. Prior plan for any activity that is coming to Ovalau, and that's going to be an operational plan to ensure that the capabilities are available when it's needed.
Navalevu. That's from, is there any questions, immediate questions here for the Fiji Police Force? Yes, Mike.
Mimula benar saka sampai dia usah tali. Da sada pasal tu mereka namun itu pembelatan na police station sa pasal tu ngandala kolrinya long. Ro nambar ki ngoro sel lama kau satu mai. Nazak.
Nak ke bakau dia rong tadi kuna nunggu iba madala. Wa madala takat kuna ro nambar ke ko ke tu kerja nama itu. Me vai la botag namba ngo ke ni atau rio wa pinakan bosot ni wa pas wa pertania. Ke tu wa kerja ndero ni wa pinakataki mani sanga ni tiko na itu bani lapo isoli mai. Belata orang na balik ko rosati ngo. Sanga talinto na kairo ni takabero. Sin rom tangan ro ripia merusa nambasunga. Sara mai rei de na kianan tau raban tintina takan sin ro ni ripia. Merusa nambasunga mer tarabo tali. Na leng kai tiko na barik. Ya na station itu talangan itu butu bani kiana mai sangatak. It's part of the whole government approach in a station taleso. Lakot sikona nito sasanga tiko na ilabo wasemai membeleta na bagi labo tu mengo kitu nana makini rani nangkarabi pakakin. If I can just translate that for the information of those that do not understand it, okay. I am just repeating the progress towards trying to replace the two building that is behind the police station, which has now been declared unsafe to be occupied. Unfortunately not been funded for this financial year. And apart from that is the repair to the police stations, facelift, I suppose. It's also part of the heritage requirement that we also have to go through that. We received a letter from them when we attempted to repair part of our, and so we understand that there are a few restrictions also for us to comply with, and that's what we are doing at the moment, is to ensure that we work within those requirements.
So not funded in this financial year means you'll have to wait, you cannot accommodate anybody there, obviously.
Yes, we are not. Our police officers are been scattered around this vicinity, renting in some of the places here in Ovalau.
Savanaka. We're reaching close to 9 p.m., but we have 6 more questions. Don't worry, as we promised, we will take all questions. We'll go a bit over time, but we'll take the last 6 questions and round things up from Levuka. Vinaka.
Vinaka ni mbulana turanga minister. Yakabini ko be ngole tungama membaletanga na wikima minanda undambi tao ni na bulbul taki. Madosawati sa tukun me wikima mi sa sinroni kima mi wakatarai mi kima mi ndambi lo manitawon. Okilani ndambi tiko turanga minister siromi. Nomini ngole mai nambak sawati na kiana soli tiko na grand wikima mina baka nduri bisinisi. Ye ke baka satu kuni wikima mingo me kima mi kuni ndambi tawoni me kima minga itodo koi na makete. Via umandanga na ni undo baka madala bira na may boli-boli. Dona kana no rawan beleta ni ke baka rabe boli kakana merna biumbiu sarchugi tawoni meranga na makete. Ngai tuku ni ke baka na grand mandanga sa sol me wikima mi ni yaya ke mami tormai. Meki mami nangai baka yang ataka baka daba ke baka sa baka tambui meki mami ndambe lo mini tawon kero ni ndo reda mandando na tikina meki mami ndo bono me bangala tagi lo mini tawoni mero ni ki mami ndambe kina meki mami kede na boli tagi kakana sa kombe ngana ken lew.
No. It's noted, eh? I think we'll have a discussion with the the Levuka Town Council, the Ministry of Health, for that matter. The ladies basically access assistance through grants. So through the grants, they bought the equipments, cooking facilities, and they sell food.
So what's the regulation that they cannot sell on the roadside?
I left, yes. But there's alternative for them to sell at any other site apart from the market.
Yeah, sorry.
The regulation is very clear. You cannot be selling from the roadside, from the hygiene health point of view. And it needs to be prepared and sold in a most hygienic way. And every government, they try and build a market, provide a proper shelter for all types of businesses, small, big, whatever it is. And that is the place for selling whatever you want to sell. Once you allow people to sell on the road, then the markets are empty. In other words, you invest $2.4 million to build that market, but people are selling on the road. So why build the market? Maybe use that money for something else. So we need to have some kind of law and order from that perspective.
Next question, please.
Ni mbula binasa kana turang minsta. Na wale bu Fijian Media na kana kumena ibatabatango I yobolo. Obambo tani irsa wasauchike nangangan rini bitana bitampan baki sauchi. Obolo wekele tu ni all capital Fiji. Malmbale akabibi nakakeden amai dikileta ngo me whole heritage site. Na isuli butsingo nda bitano tsingo na balimbula na bibatora takitaki. Ela kutsinga me nangunisal. Sakir kel saraba bimbi. Me bakane boso china ngonturanga na minista. Me palata nangunisal ni na utsingo arto na gereta pateke na fari. Kelabina kan singe kati paki uchi na budget. Nangonan to formula stake na budget to takamai na budget submission. Kembali kuna inspection ko tukun juga ando me takamai before the budget submission. Hangkai kau dake ve tukun juga be yau osna posa pandon. Obolo bakaya ngule fa bitu. Ker me sako ko na be bolo mo bina tagi ker saraba bimbi. Erna me minga saroda. Endo tsinga ne buru ni mbole levu ngo apafku. Awali tsinga mai suba ni kuwa takosonga me wasawas. Mai ngusun ranga au nangoni ruku-ruku ni busutio. Bunga ngauna mai ruku-ruku na tatako sumengole miteva yo bolau. Na buni nungku bos kembal tanangoni sala. Asing tu talento na option. Endo tu nganangoni sala dawir. Kesa kamusunga na mabu sa uchi na buli. Tobi mati sa nel tertunga kia sa sendren tole retrieve takan tampa nimbula kento na emergency. Sa ker sa ba mimbi ba mas mimbi bikim do na bilutek. Na mitin sini kwa. Na buku ninga ngandre ngo nangoni sala. Nangoni sala ko pa bon bitu sa kede. Ndara lebital na development ala ko tsinga me nangoni sala. Ken lebusak.
Sabunaka. The point is about the importance of the roads. I think next question, please.
So, kung ano ka kuda kami na crossing ibi ruku-ruku. Ruku-ruku Isando. Gero no atang ngi vital na batigero tona nito taman na. Ito gero da batani na value.
Thank you.
Good evening, honorable members of Parliament, Stanley and Madam. Thank you for coming to Levuka. I stand here this evening clarifying the allegations made by Urea Sororvagatini in regards to my vessel or my company damaging the Levuka Wharf. I want to set the record straight here in that in about 2011, the Jingda 101 sterning off the PEFCO jetty unfortunately was caught in a heavy squall, and she then smashed onto the main wharf of Levuka. Subsequent to that, the main wharf of Levuka, which was built around about 1903, was condemned by the Fiji Port Corporation. In about 2016, when the cyclone Winston hit us, my boat unfortunately hit the far end of the Levuka Wharf, but at that time the wharf was already condemned. So I need to, I thought it would be very important that I clarify this with the honorable ministers and the members of opposition. Further to that, I wish also to say that I'm also the owner of the Sinuasa Tolu, that's beach at Lawakitoki, and I'm also the owner of the service station down the road there, which was alleged that has been built in a heritage site. If there's any questions that anyone wants to ask me today, this evening, they're free to do that.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
just got a question about what will happen with the Sinuasa.
For your information, the Sinuasa Tolu is being dismantled as of 2 days ago. So the men are working inside the boat. So I don't think you'll be able to see it unless you go there tomorrow and you see the men working inside the boat. So we have commenced cutting that boat up, and that will be until completion.
Okay, I think that will be great news for a lot of people who've been waiting for that. While we have you, what's the issues you think should be done with the wharf and the challenges faced with the economy, with the wharf being like that for the last 10 years?
Stanley, thank you. Firstly, besides the wharf is one part of the issue, but I feel that the first problem that we have got here in Levuka is that we have been put in the back burner, so as to speak, and that our recognition by government is not there fully. I take you back, Stanley, to when we had the Commissioner Eastern here, based in Levuka. We had the services in Levuka was the same as the other districts. Since the Commissioner Eastern moved away from here, sometime in 1995, Levuka slowly and surely started spiraling, and it started spiraling to a situation where people were becoming very depressed, and then they started leaving our shores. I'm talking about from 14,000 people to 9,600 people living on this island today, approximately. So there is a need of a concerted effort to be made to try and bring a government mechanism into Levuka that we too here on this island can be part and parcel of the national coffers. We want to do that. We want to be part of it, but we haven't got the opportunity. The opportunity is not there.
So can we have government's response to that?
Stanley, Mr. Naidu, for raising that. We'll go back and relook into it, given the Commissioner Eastern Division doesn't only cover Loma Iviti, covers Kandavu and Rutuma and Lau. So they will be also competing with you whether to station the commissioner there. But we have the machinery is already there through the DOs and the PAs who are here, and they are connecting to the commissioner who is in Suba. But we will go back to check whether there is the need for that governance mechanism that you're talking about. Could be one of the, as you said, there's another factor apart from the wharf that could be considered. But that's my response, Stanley. We'll surely go back and look into that. Once we do a review, we have a review next week in the Western Division, where all the divisional commissioners from the 4 divisions, plus the provincial administrators will be coming to do their planning and policy workshop next week.
We're running off. Do you have any more questions, Mr. Naidu?
Yes, just one more to Honorable Tisawau. Firstly, I would like to say thank you for giving the green light in that the PWD is coming back to Levuka. Just adding on to that, sir, since we've got our own university here in Levuka, it'd be, I was thinking of whether PWD, or sorry, the Ministry of Infrastructure could work out a program or programs for our children to then attend schools here in terms of accounting and going towards the mechanical side, panel beating side, etc. And they can then be attached to PWD at the depot at Vidia. And that way we would be able to hold quite a lot of our skillful workers back here. That is one part. And on the other part, if you can allow me, Stanley, to digress a little bit.
Can you please run it up quickly?
Okay, sure. The depot was built through the vision of Ratso Kamisese Marra, and the idea was to locate or relocate machines, government machinery, heavy machinery, earthwork machinery, etc., at the depot, and then have the depot as the head of Eastern Division, PWD. So that way, machineries are out of, heavy machineries out of that depot would be then shipped across to places like Lomai Viti, Lau, Rotuma, etc. But the question, sir, is that if government can seriously look into that, it will be an added advantage to keeping people in Levuka. Thank you.
Government.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, those two matters which you have raised, for example, the training and apprenticeships for young people, that is already established within the PWD, and definitely as we decentralize with the depots, definitely that's something we will look into in terms of the youths of Walau. And the second element which you mentioned in terms of the depots and the decentralization of machinery, that's the general idea, that it is based in the maritime and also moved around, for example, to Ngau and Koro, as and when needed, and in terms of the programmed maintenance, which is one of the major issues which had been raised in our level.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. How many questions do we have left, Moji? 5. Okay, we will take those 5 one go, eh? We'll note them down. So, are these new people or?
So I got one more for Tau here on regarding infrastructure.
All right, I just need new people to come in first.
Yes, and I've got 2 more supplementary, sir.
He's not from Abalawe.
Malo Tau, eh?
Is there any new person to ask questions, please? Can we have a new person and then we'll get you to answer?
Bolo Vinaka, Apenisa, born and bred here in Ovalau. I got 2 questions and 1 proposal and 1 request.
Can you cover, put it all in?
So I'm going to sum it up all.
Sum it up in 1 minute, please.
It's about career opportunities here on Ovalau. Firstly, the main source of income has been mentioned before is farming and the PAFCO. But right now, PAFCO is facing fish problem. Workers have been laid off, and we have minimum numbers of workers working now. And the management have shared their views to us employers, and I want to hear it from you guys, ministers. What's your plan about Pacific Fishing Company? Future.
Vanaka. Finally, I thought there would never be a question on PEFCO. I'm very surprised, but also I think fisheries is also here. But
PAFCO is managed by the Ministry of Public Enterprise. You know the importance of PAFCO to Levuka and to the government of Fiji. So there is ongoing discussion to ensure that this place will never be closed. Nitorutiko na bitalo sarwin bimbi sintungo na balisilesi na bitalo da kapatugo na balisilesi indui etiko. Ukla yun din ni may tukun ni sa lilid na matakadak dodak nga ya matintu ito man chunit tuwa ito manital kesa man kami do tala kampanye.
What you saying that PEFCO is safe?
Yes.
It'll
There's
never be
ongoing
closed?
discussion with the government through the Ministry of Public Enterprise with other new operators.
Because as he mentioned, it's the largest employer in Ovalau.
Yes, it is.
In the core business. And maybe in fisheries, how much investment is going into fisheries? Why are we not investing as much as we do, say, on sugar? on fisheries?
Fisheries, into go.
Vinaka, thank you very much. We know it's already alluded to by the Honorable Attorney General that PAFCO is administered under the Ministry of Public Enterprise, and also it's got the board. Okay. From the Ministry of Fisheries, we know that the issue with PAFCO is the limited supply of tuna. So from the Ministry of Fisheries, we have addressed this at sub-regional and also at regional level. Through FFA, Ministry is already doing bilateral meeting through FFA, Foreign Fisheries Agencies, especially for the government of Kiribati and Tuvalu for the supply of tuna to Levuka. And also at the regional level is also pushing to the Eastern Britain initiative through FFA to also have Fiji as a tuna hub. So that is the support that Ministry of Fisheries has also committed to. And at the sub-regional level is under the MSG platform. So those are the things that Ministry of Fisheries has taken the initiative to do to support not only PAFCO but also the tuna industry in the country.
We're having poor supply. Is it because there's not enough fish, or is there not enough fishing fleets?
Yeah, there is not enough fish that is supplied to PAFCO.
Still, we have the General Manager for PAFCO here who wants to clarify.
Please, can you clarify?
Thank you for the question. My name is Ashok Kumar. I'm a representative for PAFCO. There's a lot of misconceptions going around, so it's, I think, a good opportunity for me to clarify a few things. There was some news going around that Bumblebee is leaving PAFCO. That is true. It's confirmed that, and we are still processing. This is the last week of processing. Having said that, PAFCO has joined hands with one of the largest suppliers that is from Spain, and they are one of the largest exporters of canned tuna based out of Spain, and which we have signed agreement on. So there's no need to be like the Honorable Minister has just said. PAFCO is here to continue, and PAFCO will go in terms of doing business with the Frinsa group of company, which is based in Spain, like I said. And for tuna, yes, it's global. The trend is, one of the main reasons was for the high cost of fuel that prevented most of these fishing vessels not going out to the sea to fish. But having said that, we have now a lot of fish in transit from Kiribati and other sources that we are trying to purchase from, which will enable PAFCO to continue operations from next week and onwards. Thank you.
Naka.
If you can just respond to the issue. So it's a temporary measure, correct? The layoff and the reduced hours.
Yes, I mean,
which is normally,
yeah, no one has been laid off. I mean, we still employ around 400 people.
Vinaka.
The people are still employed and will continue to be employed.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Regarding to the heritage, about our building here, it's been repaired, the museum, old museum here in Levuka, and it's been lying idle there. So if we could have these opportunities, like put up all photos of Levuka there for the tourists, and we can have villagers coming around performing and doing some stuff for the tourists. For the past few months, there's been 2 big boats, tourist boat, here on our bay here in Levuka, and they've been roaming around in Levuka with without places to meet.
With nothing
So,
to see.
yeah.
No,
So if we could just, what's the plan for the building, museum building here in Levuka?
Naka, your point's been noted, and I think we discussed a bit.
And last thing, sir.
Very quickly,
Can we please have one FNPF branch here in Levuka to cater for Lomaiviti, rather than traveling to Suba? The cost is so high now.
Minister for Justice,
Nasawalew, sir.
very important. Especially after the 9.5%.
Yes, sir.
But I will convey to FNPF. It's an issue of how many workers people on FNPF living in Levuka.
Nabalew, sir. Lastly, Stanley, this regarding to you guys, Fijian Media, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We here in Levuka, we're referring Levuka now as the first capital, not the old capital anymore. This is the first capital. Nasabalew for your time.
We'll have to really round up, please. So can we have all the Mr. Sakuru?
Honorable Ministers and Honorable Opposition, Mr. Sakuru, Principal of St. John's College. I have only two issues that I would like to bring to your attention. The first one,
hold the mic away, please.
the school is blessed with 500 acres and is also being part of the heritage. But one of the major problems that we are currently facing now is water issue. It has a direct link to the hygiene of the students that we serve in the school. We are thankful to the Rural Maritime Ministry who came in to assist us with an EPS, which is a purifier. We have already sent our request through Commissioner Easton requesting for assistance for the repiping of the dam in order for us to be served better in the school, especially for the 300 plus students who are in the hostel. That's the first one. And the second one, you might be aware that Bureta has a solar plantation with maybe the plan for the government to reduce costs through renewable energy. I was a bit surprised that my school is also been identified with the 12 acres. But the problem is, after contacting the Archdiocese, they were not aware of it. And the company that is coming across needs 12 acres. And that's the very 12 acres, the arable land that we are currently using to feed the students. And now they are coming for a non-binding agreement. I'm very worried of the future of the school and the students with that company. My question is the government aware of this new investment, and why cannot they look to another place and instead coming to a school that already needs that piece of land for that solar farm that they are intending to build at St. John's College? Vinaka.
What authority? I saw the St. John Dawadi on the list. Can you just confirm to Principal? And I'll hand over the mic to Honorable AG on the legal issue regarding the soil.
Vinaka, for St. John College in the new financial year, we will be undertaking that project at a cost of around $580,000 beginning in November for a period of approximately 16 weeks. Vinaka, that's the confirmation for St. John College Dawadi and now Row Village as well.
So, 480,000?
582,000.
582,000. Thank you. We've got how many questions left? Two. Thank you. Please turn it up. Oh, Mr. Hennings.
Bulavinaka, my name is Kevin Hennings. I'm a resident of Levuka. I have a question for the Honorable Tuisawao and Water Authority. Water Authority built a brand new reservoir here in Apambamba, which was commissioned last month. My question is, why haven't they built a water treatment plant? Every time it rains here, soon after heavy rain, our water gets all dirty in the tap.
No.
Water Authority?
Sorry, is there any plans in place to build a water treatment plant for Levuka?
Okay, Bolovinaka, I'm Itish Wachan, representing the WEF. Basically, in terms of the water treatment plant, yes, we have got plans in place. However, there was a need in terms for a WEF to actually do the proper feasibility study in terms of proposing the potential sources. So we have now selected the source, which is basically Lovoni. We'll be putting a new treatment plant, basically connecting the existing scheme. So basically in the next financial year, we have got some funds to actually start the design works. So yes, the treatment plant is actually coming on board.
Sorry, you have a timeline for that?
We would say, in terms of the treatment plant, there is a lot of process that we need to take, basically in terms of feasibility study, detailed design. So looking at the time frame, we would say the next 2 years.
Thank you. Okay, my next question is for, it's about our hospital in Levuka. Maybe our SDMO or Minister of Infrastructure. The hospital is in a very poor condition. If you go into the inpatient, the wards, the bathrooms are in very poor state. All the men, women, and children are all billeted all in one room. It has a designated room for men, children, and women. But now everyone is all in one room. The men's ward has been converted into an office.
Naka, SDMO, please quickly respond. Not an ideal situation you're facing. I think urgent action is needed.
Pinaka, thank you for the question. Yes, that is indeed true. We have converted the men's ward into our administration and health office after the old hospital burnt down in November of 2024. I wish to also update the people of Levuka and Ovalau that we are grateful to our partners in health. They have come on board with funding that we are going to renovate the old hospital. And the works have already started. Architectural engineers, structural engineers have already visited Levuka Hospital 3 weeks ago, and we're working with Heritage to repair the admin building. Timeline, give or take 6 months. Once that's done, we will relocate the administration down and we'll have more space for the wards. In terms of renovation of Levuka Hospital, that's also our plan for the new financial year. This financial year, we renovated all the health facilities outside of Ovalau. The rest of Lomaiviti, Levuka Hospitals is earmarked for this new financial year.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Vinaka, final question, please.
Vinaka, erang usa karemba limbuza, aungwani ni Vanuatu, Advisory Council Ambamba. Mateni na navisi ko may na PM, Prime Minister Rambuka, I Keka. Kito na Vanuatu kito chuka imbamba kito chuka nangele ni Matintu. Chuka nangele Matintu, chuka sakina. Visi ko sa kamay na Prime Minister I Keka mateni na kamay Levuka. Yalta ka kito ni na kito bandita gina ni tunggele kito na Vanuatu. Kakwa na lako nangele tala mendo na Minister, mursa ko mayo Vosorongo. Sawot sa kang ko visa na yang baki tolu mbaka na baki sembak sendor kaya sa vikitu ndo sa kanito kutuku me kito vandi taki na Vanuatu na nito ngele imbamba ko kito chikasakina nanunggu taro sa kanga kito na vandi taki se sa plan taki chiko me kito vatali listali Vanuatu tabale.
Honorable Siromi, I remember the announcement in the news articles about this.
Boleh benar. Ru na sinilis tal, ndu sa ande chulay mba.
Nasaka.
Yo, ne bosot tambata sintiungo Honorable Bosorongo, kaningele, tu nge bitar tartiko.
Nasaka.
Bikele binakatiko,
Don saka.
Binabale.
Kini karosa ka nga, nanito maratol sao sila ko may nito ivola man tambanan ni Wai, mesamu sini ni memuai, kimamimbamba. Sobi ki mai minavale ame somo limonondolu, some somo ronondolu, sondonondolu, na vuna bala telebu na bill lako sik may berton tampan anyway lako sik may wan teleboni so ya sing ya sik may non bill ngai basuri ngar sa torana non raiwal may musunaway sakar kar sa sik ko matin tu renin do wi kisa kamay meso misa kana itu way bamba nasaka
yo na vale chuko tunge vital nota kane bete kero na water authority na bukuni kana lorendo no ngonsala menda tu satabe ken nan rendre ngori na vale
Naka, that comes to an end. Sorry, we'll not be able to take any more questions. We've had our fill. I think there's a lot to be said. I will give Honorable Siromi, on behalf of the government, 2 minutes to sum up what the plans are. I will give the Honorable Leader of Opposition 2 minutes to sum up, and then Tamalesi and I will sum up the discussions tonight. Please stick to 2 minutes.
This is we are here for, to listen to your issues. Okay, we apologize if some of these issues have not been resolved earlier. In terms of the Mbureta, the subsidy comes in this financial year, the budget. It takes about 1 or 2 months to operationalize, hopefully by November. That's the message from the Minister for Tourism. We ask you if you liaise through the government office. I hope it's not that when we come, then you come and tell us all your issues. We appreciate if you liaise through your office. You can also use my office through the Ministry of Justice, so I can connect you to the office that can assist you. We are committed to help you. One thing I've seen and I witnessed is the road. That road was not there in the last 10 or 20 years. But we must all remember that not only the roads in Levuka have been dealt with. The problems faced by LTA, by FRA, as emphasized by the Minister for Infrastructure. He has one of the biggest budgets, but it's going to take time to materialize. We are committed to help you. Vinawale bononomni ngole mainikua, mairongoda, somba nonomni batataro. We bandi takatunga na matintu etu waro me buke kumni kena nonomni ndo kote na nonomni batataro kena bali bolam dondon. Tu baro talanga me baka nyungon lo mai biti, reno ni bako tayani. Ito ba binawale bitu the Fijian Media Association. Thank you so much. And to the facilitators and to the government officers who have come tonight, to ask your question, or just to listen for that matter. We will continue this exercise in Corbo. Thank you for raising awareness. It is important to be connected to the people so they can hear from us.
Honorable Leader,
you can stay back. You can stay back for each specific questions or clarification from the government officers. We will the ministers will hang around with the officers after this.
Thank you, Honorable Siromi. Honorable Leader for Opposition, Indian Serratu.
I first wish to again express our gratitude and appreciation to the Fijian Media Association for bringing us here together tonight. And thank you all for being here. And let me assure you that we have heard you and heard you well. Development is all about partnerships. And let me assure you that we will continue to do our work. And we sincerely apologize if we have failed you in some areas. But I think the commitment that has been made from government, and we are part of that government machinery, that we will ensure, since we have heard you tonight, we will ensure that we provide you with feedbacks and also ensure that your concerns are addressed, if not put into the planning process, and ensure that they are resourced as well. That is one of the main functions of Parliament, apart from legislation. We are also about ensuring that resources are provided. Not only resources, but as your representatives, we are there to represent you. And let me emphasize the role of the opposition as well. The opposition is not the enemy of the state. The opposition is part of the government machinery. Please exhaust all avenues when it comes to your issues. If things are still not done to your expectation or there are no feedbacks, always feel free to call the office of the opposition as well, because the first place that we go to at that level are the ministers. We will raise the issues with the ministers, or otherwise you will hear it as well in the form of questions in Parliament. But that's representation, and we will continue to represent you and represent you well and ensure that no one is left behind. Thank you, Levuka. The potentials are here. It's all about partnership. Vinaka.
Vinaka Bakalevo, Honorable Leader for Opposition in Ratu, Honorable MP, Opposition MP Pramila Kumar, Minister for Justice and Acting Attorney General, Honorable Sirobi Turanga, Minister of Public Works, Transport, Honorable Felipe Tuisawao, and Maritime and National Rural Development, Honorable Moses Mbulitabu. Thank you for joining us on the panel. Well, Tamalesi, that's been a powerful 2.5 hours, Levuka. I think it's fair to say you've given us a lot to think about, a lot of actions, and we definitely, I think, the government, the opposition, the people of Fiji have heard you clearly.
It definitely has. We came across the water to the old capital tonight, and the people of this town came ready with their questions and with a great deal of patience. So before we close, I think let's just take a moment to reflect on what we heard.
Yeah, it was a substantial list. It was an honest one. We heard about the state of the roads in Ovalau, the dust affecting villages and schools. We heard about the Levuka Wharf damaged since 2016, the airport at Murata that hasn't operated in 10 years. We've heard from mothers who have to travel to Suva and Nosori for a simple scan because the machine here still needs a technician.
We also heard about the everyday things that add up. The pharmacy the town doesn't have, the ambulance that's been promised, the aging water pipes at Visoto, and families sharing a single water bill. Now, these aren't abstract policy points. They're the daily realities in life in Levuka, and tonight they were put directly to the people responsible.
And to the credit to the government and the opposition, they answered. Not every answer, I'm sure, satisfied everyone. Some of the timelines are not as fast as people would like. There's a real value in hearing a minister say plainly where things stand and what the next step is.
There is, and as Honorable Inia Serratu noted this evening, governments may change, but the priorities of the people stay the same. The road still needs to be sealed. Those needs don't belong to any one party. They belong to this community, and they'll be here until they're met.
Yeah, so we've given the thank yous to the panelists this evening. Can we give them a round of applause, Vinaka? Our thanks as well to the officials who have joined us from the Water Authority, Public Works, the Ministry of Health, and the Fiji Police Force. Standing up to answer questions in front of your own community sometimes isn't easy, but it's an important part of being accountable.
Most of all, thank you to the people of Levuka. Thank you for coming in and joining us on this Levuka Town Hall meeting. It's really great to have you here. You're the reason this program exists. Your willingness to engage respectfully and directly is exactly what makes this evening like this worthwhile.
Yeah. And to everyone tuned in across Fiji, thank you for watching and listening. These conversations are not just for this hall. This matter far beyond this hall, because the issues raised here tonight are shared by many communities across this country.
Just before we go, a word on what happens next. Now, tonight was about putting the questions on the record out in the open, the commitments made here, who has been heard by everyone watching online as well, and that's something the community can hold on to and follow up on the weekends, in the weeks, months ahead.
So, Levuka, thank you again for your time, your honesty, and your hospitality this evening. You've given the rest of the country a great example of how a community can raise real concerns and keep the conversation constructive. And a gentle reminder, for those going on the carriers, please don't hang around too long because it may leave without you if you're not careful. But also a reminder, the Town Hall series continues this Friday in Korovo, Tailevu, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I think some of the panelists will also be there. And that will be hosted by our colleagues Vijay Narayan and from CFL and Moses Rengio from the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation.
From all of us at the Fijian Media Association, thank you. Levuka, good night, and thank you, Fiji, for joining us.
Nisa Modemanda from the Old Capital.